Whew, even though that sun is peeking through, it is cold outside today. You'd think we were in Sweden or something, but we're not. We are driving something made in Sweden though. This is the XC90 from Volvo. This is the T8. And for 2020, they have some changes inside and out. The new XC90 gets a new grille. Now there are 3 trims of the XC90. There's the Momentum, which gets a different grille than this one. There's the R Design, which has a lot of black accents, and once again, a different grille than this top of the line Inscription. So a new grille, you still get those Thor's hammer headlamps. You really got to take a close look at these lights. They are really cool. There's so much to them when you look closely at them, and they bend as you turn. Onto the side, this Inscription gets 20-inch rims. You can go all the way to 22-inch if you choose. One thing you'll notice, this is the T8, so it has a gasoline engine as well as an electric motor. And on the driver's side, there is a charging port right there on the side. Let's have a look into the back. You can use the handle or you can do a kick and then up it comes. Hands-free. This is a 3-row SUV, as we mentioned. Here is my camera bag, just to give you an idea how big it is. That's the width there. And if we put that there, that fits in there, no problem. Now, this is a 7-seater. So you have 2 in the front, 3 in the middle, and 2 in the rear. To put the seats down, you pull the lever, and if your headrest is up, it would automatically fold down when you pull that lever. So there you go, quite a bit of room. However, the one thing that I did notice, but there is a solution, is to get the seats back up. It can be quite difficult because there are no straps or handles to pull them back up. So it's easier to do it from the 2nd row. Otherwise, you can reach in and pull up if you do choose, but there is an option to get a power 3rd row seat. One thing it does have, if you've been watching the channel, you do know that I am a fan of hooks for grocery bags or bags. You got 1 on each side. Good job. I do like the interiors of Volvos. The Swedish design, who doesn't like Swedish design? It's modern, it's fresh looking, it's simplistic. First thing you notice though, when you get into this XC90 T8, it's the optional seats. Yes, these are cloth seats. They are not Napa leather seats. Napa leather does come standard. These are an option. It's $500 more for these, and they're made out of 30% wool and 70% polyester, recycled polyester. So they are better for the environment, let's just say. A couple pluses. It's wintertime right now. They are much nicer to sit on when you first get in here than leather seats. Are not as cold, and they seem to heat up faster than leather seats as well. I really dig the look of them. I'm not sure if it's just because it's different, because I'm not used to it. All these premium vehicles usually come with leather interiors or leather seats, and so I like the difference, I think. Now, one little drawback that I did find, my daughter was sitting in the back seat, and I forget what kind of jacket she was wearing. It might have had some fluff on it, but the fluff stuck to the material. It wasn't stuck permanently. I could just pick it off, but that's something to be aware of. With leather, I'm sure that wouldn't have happened. And with kids, I probably wouldn't go for the cloth seats. I'd go with the leather just because it's easier to clean up. All right, front and center, you have a leather-wrapped heated steering wheel, which is really nice. I really want to keep my hands on this right now. Behind that is a 12.3-inch digital cluster, and that shows all your information that you need to see, including your navigation there. This is also equipped with a head-up display, and it's adjustable up and down, and the brightness. Then you get to the Sensa system in the center. In the last year or so, they've upgraded these systems to be much quicker. So you have the home button, just like a tablet that you'd use on your iPad or your Samsung tablet, and you just swipe left or right. Very, very responsive now. Very quick. There is no delay whatsoever. This has a backup camera, of course, but this also is equipped with a Premium Plus package, which gives you a 360 round view camera. And my issue is that you can only display one or the other. So if you're backing up, you put it into reverse and you can see your backup camera. Now, if you want to see an overview, you have to hit the 360. And if you want to see that backup camera or other cameras, you have to hit those particular cameras. When on other systems, you can see usually the 360 or overhead camera and the backup camera at the same time. You definitely have the screen area to do that. Maybe you can do one on the top, one on the bottom. I really would like to see that changed on the next version, and I bet you it probably will. Apple CarPlay and Android Auto come standard. One thing that doesn't come standard, but I think it's actually not a bad deal, is the upgraded Bowers & Wilkins stereo system. It sounds good. It looks good. I love the speaker grills, how they're contoured to the door. They just look really, really classy. It adds that element of luxury and premium, and of course it does sound good, and it's about around $3,000 more of an option, and that's not too bad considering a lot of other luxury brands, when you upgrade to their top premium system, you could be looking at double that. Only on the T8 twin engine you get this crystal shift knob. It's made by a company called Orifors in Sweden. They've been doing glass work for well over 100 years. People notice it. People that have come into this vehicle, as soon as they come in, they're like, whoa. And yeah, technically it's a really nice piece of glass, but when you feel it, it does, you know, I can't really explain how it feels. You just have to feel it for yourself. It has a real sense of elegance when you touch and feel it. It's so smooth. It's really nice. This is also equipped with a large panoramic roof. I have the sunroof portion open right now to let more light in. You can close that, plus you have the actual screen that closes as well. Now let's go to the back. Okay. All right, we're in the back seat of the XC90. The front seat is set to where I would be driving. I have not moved that. And there's lots of room for your feet underneath the seat. Lots of knee room. You can slide this forward and backward for extra room for the people in the back, or if you want to give them more room. And yeah, this is also equipped with manual privacy shades on both sides. Rear seats are heated, and you have your own touch screen for your temperature control. Now, if you have one child, let's say, you can get an optional middle booster seat built in. It's about $300. It's not bad, actually. And this is the actual middle drink holder console right there. So yeah, you can have a look at the headroom. I'm almost 5'11". Now also, if you are driving along and you want these back headrests to fold down, you can do that through the Sensus system. For 2020, you now have an option to either choose a 6-passenger XC90 or a 7-passenger in the Momentum and the Inscription trim. The R design still remains a 7-passenger. What I really like about the 7-passenger is in the second row, all 3 seats individually fold down. So you can have 2 car seats like I have here, one on each side, and fold that middle down to carry some longer items. The third row can be tight if the second row is all the way back, but if you move it up a little bit, a full-size adult can fit there in a pinch. Legroom is a little bit tight, but the seats are all the way back right now.
I want to make one.
It's probably no worse than our Highlander.
Look.
Okay, let me out. All right, for the in-car test of this, I have chosen the worst day, or I think actually in my case, the best day to test out this XC90 T8. So as soon as we start it up, it starts off in hybrid mode. As you can see, maybe you can see behind here, I'll give you another shot here. The snow is coming down, and this does not happen very often on the west coast here around Vancouver. So it's coming down right now. It'll probably be gone by tomorrow or the next day. But okay, a couple clicks with the crystal gear shift and we are on our way. Now this is a shift by wire system, so there is no linkage. It's all done electronically. And on the shifter, you have to do things twice. You get used to it though. Just imagine there is no actual release button for the shifter. So the first pull that you do goes to neutral, and then the second goes to drive. Same thing if you're backing up, it's a little bit of a double tap, first to neutral and then forward to reverse. So why I say it's a perfect day is because we get to test out the all-wheel drive system of this new Volvo. So I mentioned it starts off in hybrid drive. Now new for 2020, this has a larger battery. It goes from 10.4 kilowatt hour battery to an 11.6 kilowatt hour battery. And yeah, there's quite a bit of a buildup of snow here. So the range is just over about 40 kilometers for electric only. You can drive over 100 kilometers per hour on electric only. In these conditions, you're not going to get that type of range because we are using everything. I've got the defrost and the heat on and the heated seats and heated steering wheel, wipers going. It's all working right now. Now, there are a couple other drive modes. If we hit the drive mode button, we have hybrid, and then we have pure. If we put that into pure, if I push that, now you can hear that gasoline engine has kicked off, and we are driving strictly on electric only. Now, if it does need more power or more juice, it will actually kick on the gas engine, but it will do its best to use electric only. And if we select the next one, it is constant all-wheel drive. We'll get to that in a second. And then below that, we have an individual for personal driving preference. You can change your different settings yourself. Power, if we select power, now you can hear that gas engine kick on. The display changes where we have a tachometer now because we are going to be using as much of the gasoline engine as well as the electrical system as well. And then we have off-road. If you select off-road, you can't be going too fast, and that's kind of like your all-wheel drive, but it's going to activate your hill descent control as well. So if you're going down some pretty gnarly stuff, activate that, it'll do everything for you. So what I want to test here is we are going to go into just hybrid mode, because that's everyday use, and that's what it even says, and that's what I've been driving it with mostly. Now, underneath the hood, though, is a 2-liter 4-cylinder engine. That puts out 313 horsepower. It's turbo and supercharged. So that's working in conjunction with that electric motor, which is 87 horsepower. You put it all together, and you have over 400 horsepower and 472 pound-feet of torque. Now, this is the test I want to do. All right, so we're going up a hill right now. We are in electric right now, but as soon as it starts slipping, and I can see the little gas symbol go, gasoline engine kicks on, and we immediately get more traction. Why is that? Because it's the gasoline engine that powers the front wheels, and the electric motor provides power to the rear wheels. So when you are in just pure EV mode, you're just driving along in electric, it's only driving the rear wheels. But if you need more power or traction, it is going to kick on that gas engine, and you immediately feel that. So the switchover is fairly seamless when it switches over. What I'm impressed with, though, is that this 4-cylinder, this turbo and supercharged 4-cylinder, putting out so much power, but so much torque from a 4-cylinder. It is quite amazing, the technology that you have nowadays. This T8 is equipped with an 8-speed automatic transmission. If you take the gear shifter and pull back once, you're going to go into a regenerative braking mode. And if you hit the shifter either left or right, you are going to go into manual shifting for that transmission. Now, speaking of regenerative braking, this 2020 North American model does not have the KERS system, which is coming in the next version, and that's KERS. That's Kinetic Energy Recovery System. And what that is, it's actually pretty exciting. It is basically kind of like regenerative braking, but to the next level, because it's not just charging your batteries by regenerative braking. It has a flywheel that turns like something like 60,000 RPM, whatever, building energy, but it also uses that energy for acceleration when you actually go back to put the gas on. So it's going to really increase performance, and best of all, it's going to increase economy by about 15%, I've heard. Now, speaking of fuel, of course, this is a turbo and supercharged engine. There's no surprise, this does use premium fuel. The manufacturer's rating is 9.1 liters per 100K in the city and 8.4 on the highway. I drove the first 3 days mainly in the city, one highway trip, and I didn't drive a lot, but first 3 days I did about 100 kilometers. I'll show you that picture right there. 100K, and we averaged just over 5 liters per 100K. And yeah, it is wintertime, it's cold, so I'm using everything. But I do like the plug-in hybrid system is great. Would it be nice to have more range? Yes, I'm sure that's going to be coming later on. But even just having that, I'm going to say real world expectations, about 30 kilometers that you're going to get out of the system. But yeah, for these short trips going to and from the kids' schools, dropping them off, picking them up, you can use just all electric only. And also, because of the size of the battery, checking your jurisdiction, around here you can drive this in the HOV lanes with a single occupant. So if you have problems with traffic on the freeway and you do commutes, that might be worth the extra money for getting this T8. The ride is very, very smooth in suspension wise. It is not jarring. You do have a lot of road feel. The steering is very light, and it actually even gets lighter if you, in some of the other settings. For some people, you really might like that. I kind of prefer a little bit harder steering. Just a tiny little bit would be nice. But suspension wise, if you opt for, you can also get an adaptive air suspension. This one is not equipped with it, but if you do get it, you can use it for actually even lowering the vehicle for loading cargo in the back. It can also lower the vehicle or raise it up depending on your mode. So for fuel economy or eco mode, let's say, it can lower it for better aerodynamics. This XC90 is equipped with a lot of advanced safety and driving features. It has the radar cruise control. It has the pilot assist. So we hit that button on the steering wheel. If we go into cruise control, now these are not optimum conditions because it can't see the lines on the road and the cameras are probably blocked right now, but it will steer for you. Right now the adaptive cruise is working. This also has autonomous braking, rear cross traffic alert, pedestrian, bicycle, and animal detection. Blind spot warning, you can see, well actually you can't see it from this camera there, but in the mirror you can see that we had someone beside us, and I really like how it lights up in the mirror for this one. I know a lot of cars have this feature now, but this is, it's kind of like a fiber optic light, it seems. It's really, really visible, and I like, we're going through a school zone right now, and the head-up display and the display here in the cluster, it's showing me the speed limit and it's showing me that it's a school zone. So just in case you're driving somewhere where you're not familiar, and it's going to remind you, and that's a really nice safety feature. I'm hoping to see this more and more on new cars coming out. I do like the XC series from Volvo, and if I was in the market for a premium 3-row SUV, I would be looking at one of these XC90s. If you're looking for the best power and performance, fuel economy, and lower emissions, you need to look at the T8. Okay, Everyday Review fans, I want to share with you something really special. I've been working on a new project, and if you're into a lighthearted look at some really nice cars and some really nice locations, you'll really enjoy luxury rides. So make sure click right there. Thanks for watching.